Welcome back to Hardball. We saw thousands of Tea Partiers rally in Washington on Tax Day last week, and a recent Politico poll actually shows the movement is split between social conservatives who look to Sarah Palin as their leader and libertarians who support Congressman Ron Paul. And Congressman Ron Paul is with us tonight. It's an honor to have you, sir. You're a leader of a movement. Sometimes you remind me of my hero growing up, who was in fact Barry Goldwater.
Oh, well,
and then I grew up. And I began to see the complications of life, like people get old and they don't have a lot of ability to save money, so they need Social Security. And we need a civil rights bill, even if it was done under the Interstate Commerce Clause, and it may have been a fiddle there. But the fact is, it isn't always as clear and simple as libertarian philosophy argues. But you have stuck to your position. You are a libertarian at your age. You still believe way less government is way better.
But aren't we on the verge of proving our point? Social Security sounds good, but it's broke. And even if they take care of sending out the checks, eventually the checks won't buy anything because we'll just print the money. So I think our point has been proven. That's what this whole movement's about. That's what the Tea Party movement's about.
Okay, let me give you
the failure of government is everywhere around
us. Well, what about let's just take the most thing. I used to argue this with my dad, who was sort of middle-of-the-road Republican. I'd try to take your position. And he would say, yeah, but some people just don't save money. Maybe they don't have the discipline. Maybe they don't have the financial ability. They live paycheck to paycheck. All of a sudden, they're 65. They don't have any money. And in the old days, you'd move in with your kids. And in modern society, the kids have already moved to the suburbs. You're in the old neighborhood. It doesn't work. That's why the government felt it needed to have some kind of safety net for retired people. You still don't think we need Social Security? This is pretty fundamental.
There's a moral issue there as well. The person that didn't save and spent their money and had no money when they were 65, why does that give them a moral right to take it from the person who was frugal and saved?
Because you forced them to pay in the payroll tax.
What if you didn't force them?
That's the problem my father would say. Okay, so what do you do with those people? If you don't have a Social Security system, what do you do?
Well, you're going to be a lot better off than a Social Security system where everybody's dependent and it goes totally bankrupt and you have a whole society broke. That's what the problem will be. Nobody's going to get
Would we be better getting rid of Social Security?
Pardon me?
Would we be better getting rid of it?
No. These circumstances, I have bills in the Congress that would make it solvent, that you couldn't spend a penny of it, and I would take care of these people who are totally dependent by stopping the money being spent overseas, and I would have a transition in order to do
that. By the way, that overseas, that adventure.
Yeah, that's the only place. That's the only place
that's the part I like. Let me ask you about this health care bill. It always seems to me when people say, I don't want a helmet, fine, ride without a helmet. But when you get picked up on the highway and you're all messed up and the ambulance gets there and the rescue squad gets there 10 minutes later, you're taken care of. Somebody takes you to the best hospital, the closest hospital, gives you the best treatment they can give you. So society does look out for its individual members. It does. Libertarians say, I don't need society. I don't want to pay into health care. Is that logical?
Yeah, no, it's not logical to have what we have. That means you create the moral hazard. The person go out and say, oh, I don't really have to worry. You know, if I get hurt, somebody else is going to take care of me. Well, but where does he have the moral right to say that I've been injured? It's a socialization of medicine. This idea that government will take care of me.
No, but
that means that somebody will.
Doesn't the person have to take responsibility and buy health insurance? So that
I think they have to take responsibility for their life. If they injure themselves, if they're stupid, we can't protect people against themselves.
No, but when you get a stroke or you have a heart attack or you have something goes wrong with you at the workplace and somebody has to look out for you, isn't it better that society says, no, wait a minute, while you're young and healthy, kick into health care like this new plan requires so that when something goes wrong, you've already begun to contribute.
See, I think where we disagree is you use the word society rather carelessly. Society, who's the society? Society is just everybody, but there's only a few people who are over in the Congress someplace dictating who society is and who pays, who gets bailed out, who doesn't. And under a society where people are responsible for themselves, they have to suffer the consequences. If they don't take care of themselves, they have to depend on charity, their friends or their neighbors, their churches. But you would have a lot fewer people. Now we're going to have a whole society. I mean, now we have 21% of the people that are underemployed because of this false illusion about Keynesian economics that this is going to work. There's going to be nobody else to bail them out. So society isn't going to be there because society is broke.
So the president should not have pushed a big spending bill in the face of the big looming second Great Depression.
Oh, that was horrible. It's exactly the opposite thing. He should have cut spending and put the money. I would have.
That's what Hoover did.
What?
Cut spending.
No, he didn't. Hoover was every bit as bad as Roosevelt. Roosevelt just continued the Hoover program.
Okay, you want to go back to Coolidge? Huh? You want to go back to Coolidge?
Well,
you love Coolidge.
How about
you guys love Coolidge?
No, no. How about Thomas Jefferson? How about a few people like that believe in freedom and free market?
Let's take a look at this at the Tea Party movement. That you, in a way, you and Barry Goldwater are going back. People who believe there's too much government, too much Big Brother. I understand the impulse. Some people in the Tea Party movement don't exactly go along with that. They're more for Palin. They love, you know, outlaw abortion, a lot of other issues. They're very concerned. They don't like same-sex. Is the Tea Party movement too social and not economic enough for you? Or how would you describe what you see in that?
Well, I don't think anybody can describe it yet. I mean, they're claiming there's a difference, but they'll say that I am not as interested in the social issues. But, you know, in many ways here, I am a very conservative person.
But you're not running around against the evils of same-sex marriage. I don't hear you talking about that.
No, but to say that I'm not interested in family values, you know, I happen to be married and have children and all that.
Fairly normal, but you're not out there waving signs.
No, that's true. I do not. I believe in values, but I do not believe in using force to put those values. I don't believe in using force to make you a better person for your own sake, but I don't believe in putting force on you to make you more responsible economically. I apply the rules equally to social justice and economic justice. I don't understand this division, why you may defend social liberties rather well, but as soon as it comes to me spending my money and assuming responsibility, I see, well, why don't you apply?
If you are consistent, you're the only one that I know. Because most people who say that they're libertarians always come back in and say, yeah, but no same-sex marriage and let's outlaw abortion.
See, I think the consistent position is the government shouldn't be involved in marriage. I mean, why should we have this argument?
Well, that's what Barry Goldwater might say today.
It's up to anybody's opinion.
Do you think the average Tea Party person takes that view?
Yeah, and probably not. Yeah. But I think everybody should be able to define it. I have my definition of marriage, but I don't have a right to impose my views on others. But nobody has a right to impose their views on me.
What do you make of the ugly part of the movement? And I don't think you have anything to do with it, but when I look at these signs, they've got Hitler mustaches on this guy, the President of the United States. They do crazy colors on his face to play around with his ethnic background. They look at this stuff. They got hammer and sickle. All this stuff is really kind of nasty, edgy. I hate the guy, rather than I have a different philosophy than this guy. He got elected president legitimately. I disagree with him. What's all this delegitimization? He's not really our president. He wasn't really born here. What is all this?
Well,
about?
I think that might be distortion. I've never seen that on Fox. You know,
but you got to look around a little bit.
But no, I think it's
most people are aware that this is part of the movement.
Yeah, I think it's very small, and I think it's ugly.
O'Reilly, who's becoming almost moving to the center compared to some of those guys. I mean, he knows it's going on.
But they've done some detailed polling of these people, and these are well-educated people, and most people, probably 99% of the people don't carry ugly
signs up. Where the signs are outside agitators?
Maybe the left did.
I think it's somebody from New York who's a liberal.
Maybe somebody
sneaking out there.
Oh, yeah.
You're kidding me. You are kidding me.
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Well, yeah,
just I try to needle.
Okay, where are you going? Rand Paul, I know this guy. He's your kid, your son. He might pull an upset and win the Senate seat from Kentucky.
Yeah. Looks good.
It looks good for him?
It looks very good. And
who are you guys? But you guys have become the bandwagon. You've got now, who's backing your son now? Isn't it Mitt Romney's backing him? And
I don't think so.
Not yet?
No, but Bunning did. And Bunning is the conservative independent. You know, he didn't fall into the trap of being part of the establishment. He's anti-establishment. He's with the grassroots and the Tea Party people and the people who like individual liberties and free markets and sound money. I mean, they're all for that.
You guys can win. You can win in Florida with Marco Rubio. You can win in Kentucky. You can win around the country.
There's a revolution going on, Chris.
Are you the
leader? You're checking up on us.
Are you the leader?
No, I'm not a leader. I don't think there is any one leader.
Do you think she could be president? By her abilities?
Oh, sure. Just look at the past history. I mean, almost anybody can become president.
No, you're just not saying anything. You're not even saying anything. When you say anybody can be president, you're saying there's no standards.
Well,
it's a complicated job.
That's right. But I would say that on both Republican and Democratic side, people rise to the occasion. All of a sudden, they have good advisors.
Romantic. I love it. A Harry Truman romantic here. Thank you.
Yeah, good.
Congressman Ron Paul.
Good to see you.